Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending again on when you're catching up on this. This is the last installment of the book of Esther, basically the overview. And I hope and pray that you have been able to track through the book of Esther, the 10 chapters with us all through. If you've not, please just take time, go through, and you'll be blessed for sure. So today, as we come to an end, basically, I want us to conclude the book of Esther by just having one thought. And the thought I want us to have is basically to see what God does in the book and who God is in the book, and what that teaches us basically about God. So basically, my main takeout from the book of Esther is that in the midst of all the adversaries, all the challenges, all the difficulties we go through, God will preserve us and God will preserve his people. If you think about the Jews who were in Susa at that time, who were in the kingdom of Persia, Medo-Persian kingdom, you notice that indeed they were going through a very difficult time. Actually, if anything, their life was at stake. They had been. I'm looking for the word. They had somebody. I mean, Haman had wanted to destroy all of them and kill them, and that would have happened as per human thoughts and human minds. But God went ahead and God preserved them, God protected them, and God kept them. Again, if you remember, God has a promise in Genesis when he tells Abraham that I'm going to make a big nation of you, and through your nation you're going to be blessed. Just that's not to say that only Jews are blessed, but that's to say that blessing will come through at the lineage and the family of the Jews down to Jesus. So basically, God preserves, and that's the character I see about God, that God preserves in the midst of all these challenges, difficulties, being threatened with death, annihilation, all of them, God preserved them. God preserved them. And the same is my prayer for us today. I know we live in a world with many difficulties, a world with many challenges, a world with many issues, a world with many things that are thrown our way that prove to be very detrimental to our spiritual well-being, our physical well-being, our emotional well-being, our mental well-being. But I pray that God will preserve us, because there's nothing that is too big, there's nothing that is too small, there's no one that is too powerful, there's no government that is too powerful, there's no person individually that is too powerful, and that at the end of it, God will keep us and God will protect us. And that is my prayer. And as I look at this, I also ask myself, how do I see Christ in this? Because it's very easy to talk about Esther and not think about Christ. But if you think about what Christ did on the cross, his coming, his life, his death, his resurrection and ascension is to heaven, was just to remind us that God has a heart for us, and that God is still interested in keeping us and preserving us for the glory of your name. And when I say us, it's not just everyone in the world, but to those who believe and those who confess Christ as their Lord and personal Savior. So I pray that this God who preserves will preserve us in the midst of all you are going through. Even you in your own personal life, maybe you're going through a difficult situation that seems to not be ending, that seems to be ravaging you left, right, and center. But I pray and I trust that God will preserve you. I pray that you put your hope in God. Again, remember that the Jews in this book, they prayed, they fasted for 3 days, and they asked God to help them. Again, God is not overtly mentioned, but they prayed to Yahweh and asked him for help. The same way with you, as you go through these difficult situations, as you go through situations that may prove detrimental, that you will stick to God, that your eyes will be set to God. And as you're setting your eyes to God, he will preserve you, because God preserves his people. And that's my conclusion of the book of Esther. I hope and pray you've been blessed. Continue seeking God, continue looking to God, and may he be your preserver in this time. Be blessed. Have an amazing time ahead. Thank you.